Welcome back to another episode of Eating from the Earth. Today I'm going to be talking about healing a muscular or a bone injury without the intervention of pharmaceuticals or surgery. I have been successful at healing several major injuries in my body over the last few years without the intervention of pharmaceuticals or surgery or an allopathic doctor really at all. I have been able to heal a torn ACL, a torn MCL, 3 ruptured discs, and multiple other bumps and bruises just through diet and fasting and yoga. It's amazing what the body is able to do by itself without any outside intervention. In this podcast, I will go through an injury that I'm dealing with right now that I am working on healing, and it is going very quickly. The healing process is progressing very quickly, and I have not had any outside intervention. This has simply been dealing with this with pain control naturally and with taking care of myself and making the right food choices and not eating at certain points in time, fasting, allowing my body's own immune system to kick in and heal this for me. So without further ado, we will dive into this episode today. I hope you enjoy it. And if you found value in this podcast, please like and share and follow me for more. I would love to share more of what I'm learning with you. So without further ado, let's get started. Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later, and it finally happened. I fell and I landed right on my butt while roller skating and injured my tailbone. I should be more careful at 52 years old, but I tend to live my life the way I want to and enjoy it as much as possible. And one of my favorite people to spend time with is my daughter, and we really enjoy roller skating together, except for sometimes when we go down a hill and then we have to crash in order to stop. And that's exactly what happened. So what does falling on my roller skates and injuring my tailbone have to do with eating from the earth? Well, I'm going to go into that now. So when you fall down and injure yourself, your body has to go through a healing process. And much of the healing process that we go through has to do with what we're feeding our bodies. So our immune system is part of the healing process, no matter what is going on, whether it's a virus or something else or an injury. Your immune system still has to get involved to heal. So the best way to support the immune system during a time of healing is to slow down on food consumption. Fasting is super important for the healing process. So the day after I fell on Christmas Day. The day after I fell, I then started a 36-hour fast. So when I went to bed Christmas night, that was the last time I ate, and for 36 hours. I'm then going forward, fasting 18 to 24 hours as I feel able to. But the best way for me to support my healing process right now is to fast. And then when I'm not fasting, when I'm eating, I'm going to be eating foods that are really easy to digest. So high fiber foods, lightweight foods that don't weigh a lot. So like meat can be really heavy, lighter vegetables. Root vegetables are a little harder to digest, so I'll stay away from those. I'll be eating lighter things like microgreens and Brussels sprouts and fish and just foods that are really easy to digest. This will not take as much time from the process of healing to digest food. Okay, so here are the steps I'm taking to help my body to heal itself. Again, I am not going to the doctor. I am not going to use an allopathic doctor to help me heal this. I can do this on my own through what I've learned through Ayurveda and other natural healing techniques. So here's what I'm going to do first, is what I've been doing. Since I first injured it, since I first fell, I immediately started treating it with ice. To keep the inflammation down, that will reduce the pain. So ice is a pain remedy. That is what you use it for when you hurt yourself. Ice doesn't necessarily speed up the healing process, it just reduces the pain. And I guess in a sense it does help to speed up the healing process, because without the pain, the body can relax and it can heal itself. So ice is very important for the first week or two, depending on how long the injury takes to heal. This one I'm thinking is going to probably take about 4 weeks. So I will be icing it for at least 2 weeks. I'm also taking herbal remedies to help reduce inflammation throughout my entire body, in particular around the tailbone. So I am drinking an herbal tea twice a day with herbs like burdock root, turmeric, and cat's claw. There are lots of other anti-inflammatory herbs, but these are the ones that I have readily available, and I know they will do the trick. So through consuming herbs that help with inflammation and can help the whole system move a little faster, also aiding in digestion. So anti-inflammatory herbs like turmeric also help in digestion. So digestion is key in this. So that's where eating from the earth comes into play. So we can eat foods that will help to speed up the healing process, or we can eat foods that will help to slow down the healing process. I would think we would probably want to focus on eating foods that will speed up the healing process. So on the next slide, I will show you what foods are best to help support the healing process. It would seem torturous to spend time walking and moving with a tailbone injury. And in my mind, that's exactly how I perceived it. But in reality, walking actually feels really good. I feel like it kind of takes the pressure off the tailbone. Standing in general does. But walking and moving and generating energy in that area has really proven to be very beneficial through this healing journey. I know my limits, so I walk until my body hurts to the point where I'm tired. And that is an indicator to me that it's time to stop. So with a tailbone injury, there's also another factor where you have some numbness in the area. So it's kind of hard to tell if you're dealing with a consistent level of pain, because it is pretty numb back there. But your body will let you know. It will slow down and tell you that you're tired. And at that time, you need to listen and head to wherever you can be comfortable and lay down. So also, I've been spending a lot of time in my garden. This podcast is all about eating from the earth, and eating from the earth has been beneficial during this healing process. It is very anti-inflammatory to eat really good, rich, leafy greens from your garden during an injury because of their anti-inflammatory effect. So I have been spending a little time in my garden, pulling some weeds with a long handle gardening tool. And the Mother Earth has given us rain the last few days. So I haven't had to go out there and do much watering, but spending time working in my garden has enabled me to relax and connect with the earth and thus heal. So it's important when you injure your back to, do movement, move around. But if you feel like you're starting to aggravate the injury, then change your type of movement. Go to something that does not aggravate the injury. And even if that's just some upper body work for a little while, or some breathing, or some really soft, light yoga, then that's what it is. If you feel like walking feels better, then do that. Let your body dictate to you how to heal and how to move during the healing process. Earlier in the podcast, I talked about how fasting is important during a back injury or an injury of any sort. Fasting is really important. But during the times that you're eating foods that are anti-inflammatory and foods that are really easy to digest are important. So I just kind of wanted to go a little deeper into that. So it's important when you've injured your body, even though it seems very tempting and sometimes the only option is to get fast food. That is really the worst thing you can do for your body while it's in the healing process. Eating fresh foods is like taking medicine for the body. So, intentional eating, like eating anti inflammatory foods, can be really helpful and much easier to digest. So, trying to digest heavy cuts of beef, um, you know, large amounts of tough, heavy protein can make it difficult. And the last thing you want, especially with a tailbone injury, is constipation, because that is going to cause a major amount of pain. So, um, eating foods that are really easy to digest, eating foods that are anti-inflammatory is going to be your best friend right now during this injury. It's what I have been focusing on while healing this injury. So the food list on the right side over here of the screen, you see there's bok choy, apples, black beans, fish like salmon, but good. I wouldn't suggest tilapia, and I would definitely go with wild caught. Pineapple is definitely anti-inflammatory. Pineapple is really good for you. Now remember, that's a high fructose fruit, so it should be reserved for dessert after you've had your fiber and your protein and fat. Broccoli is really good because it's got high amounts of fiber, and that's going to help the colon. You're applying ice right now. I'm icing it down. I'm using every technique that I can to help to reduce the swelling, and that is causing some dryness in the base of the colon, in particular the rectum. So it's important to have lots of high fiber, high fat foods right now, like avocado and uh, olive oil and avocado oil. Those kind of oils help to lubricate the entire system, and that can definitely help in the healing process. Now, if you're eating junk food, like packaged foods and fast foods and things with trans fats and artificial flavorings and all of those bad things that we already know about, if you're eating those kind of foods right now, what's going to happen is your body is going to produce free radicals to prevent those from harming your body, and those free radicals are going to get onto the injury, and it's going to prolong the healing process. So, eating high amounts of antioxidants to offset any free radicals that might be going on as a result of the injury or any medications you're taking, but also helping your system to move quickly and easily is so important. So, staying away from junk food, best thing you can do. Eat from the earth during an injury. And listen, not saying that when your injury is gone that you can't go out and treat yourself to something that you like, but during this time, be mindful of what goes into the mouth and into the stomach, and eventually affecting the injury long term. So those are the steps I'm taking right now as far as diet goes, is being very intentional with my anti-inflammatory foods. Okay, wrapping up this episode of Eating from the Earth today. I am on the mend. I believe it's been a few days now, and I'm officially on the mend. Um, I want to just stress the fact that if you ever injure yourself, it's important to, if you feel like you need to seek medical attention, then you should definitely do that. There have been times when I have injured my leg, my knee, torn ACL, where I felt that I definitely needed to seek medical attention, that I could not bear the pain without some intervention. And I did that. This time I didn't feel that way. This time I felt like I could handle it myself. So listen to your body, which is the last thing on the list, but listen to your body. And if you feel like you need to seek out medical help, then absolutely do that. I cannot stress the importance of icing an injury. Um, I feel like a lot of people turn to heat initially, and that can actually aggravate things. Ice is the first treatment in injury needs to be ice. So icing it 4 to 6 hours at a minimum of a day. They do sell all kinds of different ice packs where some can be strapped around the waist, where the ice pack goes right onto the lower back, which is what I'm using now. If you have an injury in the knee or the hip, they have different kinds of apparatuses that you can Velcro around yourself just to keep that ice in place for a while. And that is such a saving grace. And like I said in the second slide, be sure you're moving. Move your body. Don't allow the pain to completely stabilize you unless it's that sort of an injury. But if you can move, you should be moving. And during this time of recovery, while we're healing and allowing these tendons and bones to heal, we should be feeding our body really, really good food. They need our body and all the systems of our body need all the help they can get. So as much good nutrition you can send down there, the better. And then, lastly, just listen to your body. If your body says rest, rest. If your body says move, move. If your body says go to the doctor, go to the doctor. Listen to your body, listen to your intuition, and stay healthy. That wraps things up for another episode of Eating from the Earth. If you liked this episode and you enjoyed the message, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for listening and stay well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share to keep up to date with what's coming out. See you next time.